Plaintiff Mona Fruin dated the defendant for a year, but she broke up with him after she discovered he got 2 other women pregnant. Mona claims a month later she found out she was pregnant with the defendant's baby, but the defendant didn't meet their daughter until she was 5 months old. She's suing her ex today for child support. Defendant Randy Bernstein insists he had doubts about fathering Mona's daughter from the beginning, and he expressed his concerns to Mona. Randy petitioned the court for a paternity test so he can find out the truth. But if he's proven to not be the father, he will be devastated, and therefore he's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Okay, so me and Randy met in 2007. We dated for about a year. At that time, I ended up finding out he was with 2 other women who were about 9 months pregnant, and we ended up breaking up at that point.
How old were you all?
I was about 21, 22.
Okay.
28.
You were 28.
That's correct.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, and then
You found out he had those women, and then
I ended up having Cena in June of 2009. Since then, it's been on and off with him, with her, with their relationship. You know, he's in sometimes, you know, helped out a little bit here and there, but, you know, not too much.
now you all broke up in 08.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right after I found out about the other 2,
You were already
been
pregnant,
broken up
though?
since then. After I found out about a month later.
That
After
you were
we had broken up,
pregnant?
that I was pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah.
So at that time, he had 3 pregnant at the same time? Was he working?
No.
What else you want me to know?
He met Cena once in 2009. She was probably about 5 months.
When you first contacted him about it, well, how was his response?
He was in jail. There was no doubts then. He even contacted me again, wanting to get back together. At that time, when he contacted me, he was locked up at that time, and he wanted to make things right and try to work things out. Well, when he was trying to do that, he ended up coming forward with some more stuff that I should know. Ended up telling me that he had slept with my cousin, and at that point, it was just like no coming back.
And financial support, has that been there over the years? Sounds like you say he has not had a relationship with the child at all.
Yeah, well, I
except for
mean,
once or
off and
twice?
on, you know, she knows that that's his dad. You know, she sees him once in a while for the past, since she was probably 3. You know, he's been in there, him and his mom, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has that relationship. Let me hear
Yeah.
from you, sir.
She knew that I was juggling a couple of women at the time because, you know,
I did not know that.
she kind of wanted to fight him. So, but along the line, like she said, I was in jail. She came to visit me one time in jail. At the time, I was wild. You know what I'm saying? I was really out there, but not to make no excuses for nothing. When they came to see me, they came to visit me. So it was 3 women there to see me. Like she said, they were
At the
both.
same time?
Yeah. Like
And
she
they all had the
Well,
children?
there was only 2 of us there.
Hold
No,
on, ma'am.
no.
And they all had the children with them?
No. At the time, they were pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 pregnant women showed up on you?
Yeah.
In the same session? In the same visitation?
Yes, sir. Be honest with you, I ain't never been in this position. I don't want to do nothing wrong or say anything wrong. This is a complicated situation to be in. But however, I'm gonna do whatever I can, as you know what I'm saying, to make it right. I mean, but I was, like I said, I was wild.
Okay.
I had.
And what has been going on since that time?
She, like school clothes, Christmas, whatever I can do, I've done. I ran
School
it from,
closed one time.
from the beginning. I've had.
Kindergarten. She's in
Pardon
2nd
me?
grade.
Okay.
School closed one time when she was in kindergarten.
Has he
She's
given
now
you
in
any
2nd
other
grade.
financial support?
Christmas, anything?
Over the 7 years?
Christmas, a couple times.
Sir?
That's not true. When my daughter come over there, whatever she asks me for, if I can provide it, I'll
Why
provide it.
haven't you helped with their needs?
Be honest, it was a doubt in my mind. If anything, that's the reluctancy, is because I wasn't 100% sure from the beginning.
And that's your feeling now?
Right now, I'm just.
So you were kind of cutting it up the middle. Just in case she's mine, I'll give her some Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
But she might not be mine. So that's the best I'm going to do is Christmas and whatever.
Pretty much, but no, not just Christmas. She's come to live, spend nights and stuff with me, spend time with me and all this stuff. It ain't just like that's the only time I've seen her is at Christmas or at school time. It's been times where she's come over and spent time with me and my family.
Have you raised this issue before she sued you for child support? Have
Yes,
you ever told
yes.
her, I'm not sure if the child is mine?
From the beginning, sir.
Ma'am?
No.
He's never told you that?
Never. Not up until
Well, he did. Now you're saying
Not
not
true.
up until.
yeah,
Not
not
true.
up until I just recently found out about how much he owes, and he found out about it too, and
How
then
did
all
you
of a sudden
find
that's doubts. I've been off of work because I was just had twins, so I've been on disability. Well, my disability was taking a long time to come through, so I went and signed up for aid. Well, at the time I signed up for aid, they were telling me that they were collecting $308 a month from him for child support.
Okay.
And I'm wondering why, because I've never seen anything, and they shouldn't be collecting from him because I don't get cash aid. I didn't get cash aid for my daughter. It was just food stamps. And so he don't have to pay back the food stamps. So then I went and checked into it further, and he owes about $11,000.
Okay, and that's why you're here to get the maximum that we can provide.
Yes.
$5,000. You have the order, the child support order. You ever told her, I'm not sure if the child is mine?
From the beginning, sir.
Yeah?
No,
He's never told you that?
never. Until I just recently found out about how much he owes.
Plaintiff Mona Fruin insists she and the defendant have a 7-year-old daughter, but the defendant has doubts about being her biological father, so he petitioned the court for a paternity test.
Sir, what do you have to say about the balance that the child support agency has assessed?
Your Honor, if the kid's mine, I'll do everything I can for my child. I'm not here to make her look foolish or nothing like that.
Okay.
I just want to know if the child's mine.
All right, and the $5,000 for your counterclaim for emotional distress
I'm
is
gonna be
for
crushed
what?
if she's not mine.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna be crushed if she's not mine. Be honest, my kids call her sister. She calls my mom grandmom. You know what I mean? And it's been 7 years of us being with this child, contrary to what she's saying.
It hasn't been 7 years. It's only he didn't start coming
And you
back
think
around.
she
until
might
she was
know?
3.
I think she has doubt in her mind too, because we spoke and
So why haven't you taken a DNA test prior to this?
like I said, I took accountability. I thought she was mine. I was like, man, I did sleep with her unprotected.
But
and
now suddenly you think
Yeah.
there's
This-
a chance that she's not.
this $12,000 bill, be honest with you, is what really made me figure out, like, if
I better check this out for real now.
Because I've been helping as much as I can, and she know I got kids just like she got kids, and it's not like I'm trying to dodge the
First
kid.
of all, this is a very good example of what I always say, that men should pay their child support through the acknowledgement of child support services so that they can get credit. All these things you've done for 7 years and whatever gifts you've given, you're not getting credit for it.
And it
They're
hasn't been
going
7
all the
years.
way back 7 years saying, you still owe us $11,000. Whatever you did for her, you should have given it through the court. And therefore, we don't know anything about it. We're not going to try and decide. We're not going to try to see who's lying. All we know is what we've assessed. You should pay $11,000. Now, if you say you've paid 10, too bad. If you say you've paid 8, too bad. If you should have paid it through us so we can give you credit for it. Prime example why I tell young men, pay it through the court. I don't want to put me on the government. Well, the government, you're going to be on them in a minute.
Straight up.
You're going to be on them for $11,000 at some point. So you better pay the government, well, with the acknowledgement of the government, because you don't know when it's going to come up. All right, and your $5,000 is if you are not the father, and you say he is,
Yes,
and you've never doubted it.
never.
All right, so
And we've
we're gonna-
never had a conversation saying that I've doubted that he was the father of my daughter.
All right, go and get the results, and if you are the father, you're gonna
If I'm not the
pay
father, I'm
the
still.
child support that you owe.
If I'm not the father, I'm gonna be the father, Your Honor. I love this daughter. I love
Okay,
her.
if you are the father, though, that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna pay the child
yes,
support
sir.
you owe.
Yes, sir.
Because you've been ordered to pay it. And the only way you wouldn't owe is if you were not the father. Now, you wanting to take responsibility, that's a gift, or the promise of a gift, and that's not enforceable, by the way. For him to volunteer and say he promises to help or he promises to pay for a responsibility that he does not legally owe. He doesn't have to do a thing if he felt that he didn't want to, but he says he wants to be the father whether he is or not, and you can be the father all you want, but you are not the father. Here you go. 0% chance. Give it to her
gosh.
first. Give it to her first.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
It's another lesson for young men. take that test. It has been 7 years,
Oh my gosh.
and no one took a test. And now you're emotionally attached, and
I don't even want her to know.
on the other hand, you don't want her to know.
I don't want the baby.
And that's between the two of you all. You all discuss it at a later time. But I'm going to have to dismiss your claim. He doesn't owe you a dime because it's not his child. And your counterclaim is dismissed because you haven't proven that she knew. You would have to prove that she knew the child wasn't yours and was misleading you. And in this case, you haven't proven that. All right, both of your claims are dismissed, and you all discuss how you want to handle it. He doesn't want the child to know he isn't the father. Perhaps it will cause damage to the child, and so you all consider all that when you discuss it. Or if you decide to do so, I suggest you go to counseling with the child. So that's my decision, and that's my recommendation. Both of your claims dismissed.
Like I said, that's my daughter, bro. I ain't tripping. It's too late to turn back now.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's been too long. We should have got it done a long time ago.
I got you, bro. Don't worry about it.
Plaintiff Yolanda Cunningham was married to the defendant's brother for 37 years, and they were both drug addicts. After Yolanda's husband passed away, the defendant supported her. But while living together, Yolanda claims the defendant assaulted her. She's suing for the assault, a loan, and the cost of a bedroom set. Defendant Bonnie Smith Bankston admits that while living with Yolanda, they got into a physical altercation. But she insists Yolanda was the aggressor, and she simply pushed her in self-defense. Bonnie's countersuing for an illegal eviction and pain and suffering.
Start with you.
I was married to her brother, my husband, for 37 years. My husband passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. We both were recovering addicts. We were crackheads for 17 years. And through the grace of God, I have been clean and sober now 15 years and 5 months.
Good.
I chose to turn my whole life around. I took my talent that God given me and put it straight and soul to advocate against drugs, also to be able to talk about drugs so make a difference in the world.
Good.
I ended up creating a 10-foot crack pipe.
You had a 10-foot? You was getting high enough. 10 foot?
It's I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You didn't bust your heart?
Huh? No. It's non-functional.
Oh, you didn't
It's
use
a piece
it.
No, it's a piece of art, Your Honor.
Okay, I see
I
it
created it. It made front page.
now. All right. You in the
Yeah.
paper.
So,
It
in my
is a
sole
nice piece of
intention for
art.
this, to tell you, Honor, that I thrive on continue to keep my sobriety. I won't let no one take my sobriety away from me. Or no situation, no how severe it is. I continue to stay straight and focused. I do not want to be back in the system, seeing no judges. I'm sorry I got to see you, but you know. Unfortunately, we're here with that right now. And unfortunately, I had to be taken almost back to that far when it came to
What are
dealing
you
with
saying?
this
This
money.
threaten your sobriety?
Yes, sir,
How?
to the point where when she put her hands on me and she put her hands around my throat, it took me so far back, Your Honor. I went so far back, I was pacing the dang floor. Unfortunately, I had to be taken almost back to that far when it came to
What are
dealing
you
with
saying?
this
This
money.
threaten your sobriety?
Yes, sir,
How?
to the point where when she put her hands around my throat, it took me so far back, Your Honor. I went so far back, I was pacing the dang floor.
Plaintiff Yolanda Cunningham is suing her sister-in-law because she claims while living together, the defendant assaulted her.
Let me get some background from you.
Well, as Yolanda said, I have known her for 30 years. As she said, it stated that she and my brother was crackheads, and they moved from Talladega, Alabama, back to California. So she and I really didn't have a lot to say until my brother died. And when my brother died, I really knew that the only thing that she knew that she would go back. So I reached out to her, and I was determined that I was not going to let this young lady go back to or relapse back into drugs. So ultimately I talked to her and I convinced her to move to Georgia, where I am. And she did move. So
You all had a good relationship other than this incident?
we did until she assaulted me.
All right, we'll talk about that, but
I
where do
never
you want to
assaulted.
start? The loan, the assault, or the bedroom set, or if they all go together? Tell me about it.
Well, I'll start with the assault, sir. For the assault, I never assaulted her. As my witness would be.
Tell me what did happen.
What happened, it was basically over.
When, approximately?
Actually, on August 8th, it spent into August 9th because the police report says August 9th.
All right.
So it's early morning.
Let me see your police report so I can get an advanced look at it and what happened.
It was being angry over $150 in emails, misunderstanding emails, and then we got downstairs. I got downstairs to try to tell her she misunderstood the email, and then it got to the point where she was cussing at me in my house, and I told her, you're not gonna cuss at me in my house, and she wouldn't stop cussing. We got to a point where I just said, rose my head, I said, you know what, I'm not even doing this, but you're not gonna cuss at me in my house. So she was walking in front of me, and as she walked in front of me, she approached the stairs, and I was behind her, and she was steady cussing, and I'm pointing, you're not gonna cuss at me in my house. I'm not gonna allow you to do that. And so she's still cussing at me, but she turns around, and because of what I was pointing my finger, turns around and grabs me by the throat, and I falls over into the chair. That's when my son jumps up to see if I'm all right, but that's when I get up, and I said, oh, God, and I'm about to fight her and go back in my old Dauphine way, but I said, oh, no. I said, B, you finna get your country bumpkin A up out of my house. I'll be dang if I have to fight you, and I done fought your brother for 37 years and him putting his hands on me. I'd be dang if I have to fight his sister. So the popo is gonna come get this whole, excuse me, sir, out of my house. I started pacing the floor because she went on upstairs and I ain't going nowhere. I'm contemplating because my son knows I didn't let my husband get away with hitting me. I'm letting this go. I didn't touch her.
And so
Because I
it
saw
was-
everything. I saw being locked up again. I saw being put in the system again. I saw I had to do everything all over again. And all I did is pace the floor to wait for the police to get there. And I just praying God that, I thank God that she left voluntarily that day. And the police said she left, and it says in the police report that she left. And I was
Okay, let
still
me read.
thinking.
Upon arrival, officers met with Yolanda Cunningham, who advised that she was physically assaulted by her sister-in-law, Bonnie Bankston. Cunningham stated that she tried to talk to Ms. Bankston about bills that she owed to her for staying in the house. Ms. Cunningham stated that Ms. Bankston started cursing at her and pushed her by her throat, causing her to fall on her living room sofa. Ms. Cunningham stated that her son, Manuel, witnessed the incident. Officers spoke with Manuel, who was also on the scene. He said, man, said he ain't seen nothing.
No?
That's what he
But
said. Now, man, you told the police, he said, I ain't seen nothing.
Exactly.
Cunningham complained of feeling a burning sensation on the right side of her neck. She appeared to have bruise marks on the right side of her neck. Bankston stated that she tried to go upstairs when Cunningham met her at the staircase and pushed her forehead using her index finger. Yeah. Miss Bankston stated that she responded by pushing Miss Cunningham back and that her hand somehow caught Miss Cunningham's neck and she fell on the sofa.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, you hate when that happens. Somehow caught her neck. All right. With regard to the loan, how does she owe you for a loan?
She owes me $1,332 because I loaned her $2,000. She
When?
paid 2015 in November.
Okay.
She didn't sign the promissory note until 2016 because she hadn't paid on it, and she promised to pay $334, and that's the promissory note.
When was that signed? Let's see it, please.
April 11th, 2016.
And how much has she paid since that time?
$668.
And the bedroom set. Cost of a bedroom set.
The bedroom set that she $1,482 when she moved into my home in March. I let her move in because she's leaving her husband. So she needed a bed set because hers was broke, and she asked me, can I buy her a bed set and she'll pay me for it, and I did so, and it was $1,482. I didn't touch her because I saw everything. I saw being locked up again. I saw being put in the system again. I saw I had to do everything all over again. And all I did is pace the floor to wait for the police to get there.
Plaintiff Yolanda Cunningham is suing her sister-in-law because she claims while living together, the defendant assaulted her.
First of all, let's address the assault, because you're countersuing her for the pain and suffering for the assault in addition to an illegal eviction. So we'll start there and then we'll address the loan and the bedroom.
Okay, Your Honor. We're here today because she knew that I had lost my job at the end of July, and that I couldn't really afford to live there. And I told her that I would leave in August. And she said, no, you don't have to leave, just try to pay the rent. So anyway, I said, well, I'm going downstairs. And I went downstairs to get some water to take my medicine so I go to bed. Yolanda came down there screaming. And I said, I'm not going to talk about this right now. She said, yes, you are. I said, no, I'm not going to talk about it. So she said, you get out. Mm-hmm. So she said, you get out. So I said, okay. So I went upstairs. I was going upstairs, excuse me. I proceeded to go upstairs. Once I proceeded to go upstairs, Yolanda came behind me yelling. And I'm like, looked at her like, who are you yelling at? And then she walked up to me and started pointing her finger. My mom always said, as we were little, don't start no fight. Don't touch anybody until they touch you. I allowed her to point her finger in my face until she touched me. When she touched me, I just shoved her. Now, as far as the choking, she's delirious because I shoved her. Okay. I felt threatened at that time.
All right. Now, with regard to the loan, what do you say to that, ma'am?
Okay, so she did loan me the money. Actually loaned me $2,000. I paid $630 some odd dollars back. And actually, I did sign a promissory note to begin to pay her in April. I was paying her. We had our housewarming party in June. Mm-hmm. Okay, right after the housewarming party, Yolanda said to me, well, Bonnie, since you have been so good to me, you have actually kept me from going back or, relapsing.
When did you start being good to her?
Oh, since the day she came. I mean, even when she was in California.
Okay. So why didn't she come to you before you signed this agreement that you would repay her?
I have no idea, sir.
Okay. Did you say that?
No, sir.
All right. So I'm inclined to believe her because you have no idea. What about the bedrooms?
Okay, the bedroom, as you can see, I asked her, if you'll pass this to him, this is mine.
What is it?
This is where I asked her, do I take the bedroom? So this is before I even moved. And she said, of course, it's yours.
It's yours if you pay for it. Did you pay for it?
No, I didn't pay for it. It was a gift.
All right.
No.
She said it was a gift all along.
No.
You have any evidence that she was to pay for it?
She just said she was going to pay for it. And
do you have any evidence of that?
No, I don't have evidence. All I can tell you, Judge, from
she has evidence that says when she asked, do I take the bedroom
because
set?
I told her, she don't have the whole text that I told her that I would sue you for the money because you know it's over.
Do you have that?
No, I don't, sir. But I did allow her to take it because I told her I was going to sue her for it because she said she was going to pay me for it.
This doesn't sound like that type of conversation.
But the conversation.
Do I take the bedroom set with me? Of course, it's yours. But by the way, I'm going to sue you for it.
No, that's later.
Doesn't sound reasonable.
That was later, sir.
Doesn't sound reasonable. In regard to the pain and suffering, I don't know who initiated it. The only independent witness is the son who says he didn't see anything. He told the police that. So I'm not going to provide pain and suffering to anyone because I'm not convinced of who the aggressor was. Yes, you had marks on your neck, but it could have been that you started and you just lost. The illegal eviction. One, you all needed to separate. That was something that had to happen. The loan I'm going to grant you, and I'm going to conclude that this text where you said the furniture is hers, essentially either gave it to her or forgave the debt. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount, $1,332. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you. Come here, girl. This is.
I love you. I love you too. I love you, girl. Now let's go home. No, let's go home.
Plaintiff Matthew Dominguez dated the defendant, and while they were together, the defendant was addicted to heroin. Matthew claims he did everything he could to help the defendant over the years, and he's suing him today for attorney fees, the cost of a car, and rent. Defendant Stephen Balfe says his relationship with Matthew was toxic because Stephen was broke, using heroin, and in and out of jail and rehab. And Matthew was a raging alcoholic. Stephen claims after they broke up, he robbed 3 banks and went to prison. And that's when he got his life together. Stephen denies owing Matthew for anything.
Start with you.
I met Mr. Both a little over 10 years ago. At first we began dating. Everything seemed pretty common. I liked him. At the time, over the years, he developed, or I don't know if he developed it per se, but he had a substantial heroin addiction.
How long did you all date?
Early 2006.
10 years ago, so that means from 06 until when?
October of 2011.
Okay. And when did you observe his heroin addiction begin?
I kind of always observed it, but there were small signs.
So he started out? When you all started, you believe he was on heroin?
Looking back, yes.
Okay. And what was your experience like in your relationship?
It was overall pretty good at first.
Okay.
I didn't take heroin 101, so I didn't know what specific signs to look for at first. Over the course of the years, I did a lot of things for him. He would get into a jam, I would help, I would do everything I could to get him out of it.
Defendant Stephen Balf dated the plaintiff, and he claims after they broke up, he hit rock bottom, robbed 3 banks, and went to prison.
You give me some background on your relationship, and then we'll get into the issues you're suing him about. Sir?
For sure. Mr. Dominguez and I started dating roughly around 2006, lasted till about 2011-ish, give or take. From the start, our relationship was utterly toxic. He knew I was an out-of-control drug addict. I knew he was a raging alcoholic. I would be broke, high all the time, in and out of court. He would get blackout drunk, wake up at random places in the city.
Is this true?
For the most part, as far as me believing, I don't believe it was toxic. I had a lot.
That's enough. Go ahead.
It was toxic. I was in and out of jail, in and out of rehab, constantly broke. He was constantly waking up in his car.
How many times did you go to rehab?
A few. Let's say like 3 or 4 for like small little stints. I'm not like full out blown rehab.
How long?
3 days, 5 days, sometimes a week.
Just detox.
Just detox.
Rehab.
Just detox. It was probation violations.
Okay. You didn't voluntarily go to.
Oh no, none of it was ever voluntary. Okay. Like I never wanted to stop doing what I was doing.
Did you stop?
Did I? Absolutely, I did.
How did you stop?
How did I stop? I stopped the day I got arrested.
But you have been arrested a few times, but what happened?
No. There was a big arrest. In about 2011, Matt and I pretty much severed ties, went about our separate ways. I spiraled out of control. I was bouncing around, sleeping on couches. I was unemployed. I had pretty much nothing to my name. He helped me out when he could help me out. Friends helped me out when they could help me out. I ended up watching a news report about some guy in the city robbing banks with a Post-it note. So I was at the end of my rope. I was sleeping on some lady's couch, and I was like, something has to give. So I figured I would try it. I would either end up in a rehab that I would pay for, one of those disappear, start a new life things, or I'd end up in a prison boot camp. Either way, something had to give. And I didn't go to rehab, so I went to prison instead.
What'd you do?
What I do, I took a little yellow Post-it note into a bank, and I walked out with a handful of cash, and then did it again, and again. And
how many times?
3.
How much time did they give you in prison?
I did 5.5 years.
When you came out, you've been clean since then?
I've been clean since the day I got arrested.
Good. All right. Good to hear that. How does he owe you, sir?
Over the years, there were quite a few times that I helped him out, and a few times that he put me in harm's way. So the first of which is he got me into a car accident. We were driving home from a party. I was sleeping in the passenger seat. All of a sudden, I get woken up. Matt switched seats with me. Okay. I'm under the impression he's getting a ticket of some sort. I have my military ID, which I was enlisted at the time. I know how to speak to law enforcement a little bit better, and I believe he had a suspended license at the time as well. So just coming to, I switched seats. His Jeep is smoking. Some poor woman's Chrysler is totaled. I get out of the vehicle not knowing what had even happened. I panicked. I took off. I was worried that I would get in trouble with the military. I ended up spending $1,500 on an attorney to get me out of that, which I'm, who does that? And another instance, I bought him a vehicle in which he was driving a Honda Civic with a hole in the floor and like tires down to the cords, and I think it was like at least 6 or 7 different colors. He needed something better. He needed to be a little bit more heroin chic, I suppose. So found him a 94
Heroin
Honda.
chic, is that what you said?
Well, a little more stylish, I suppose, if you're gonna.
Go ahead.
Which throughout those years, he would get kicked out if I found evidence of it. He would clean up. He made attempts to. I'd let him back in the house. But even during those times, to say things were toxic, I still picked him up from work.
All right, let's get back to the amounts, though. The cost of this car you gave him, is that what you're saying?
I purchased the car. He was to pay me back in allotments.
How much?
$1,350.
And the rent, what is that for?
The rent was 2 months of non-paying his half. That comes out to $830 total. So $415.
When?
2 months. That was early, I believe, 2009.
Defendant Stephen Balfe dated the plaintiff, and he claims after they broke up, he hit rock bottom, robbed 3 banks, and went to prison.
$1,500 for the car, sir. Do you owe him that? He's saying because he jumped in the other seat that you should pay his attorney fees.
That was spun epically. No, we were returning from a New Year's Eve party. The accident was on New Year's Eve. 3 o'clock in the morning, we're both plastered. He was passed out in the passenger seat. I was nodding out in the driver's seat. Rear-ended some lady. We got out, made sure the lady was fine, got back into the
No, that's
Jeep.
not true. I was sleeping.
Let him finish. You gave your side. Go ahead.
Once we hit, he was very much awake. But no, we got back into the Jeep, and what he said about the military, he used to use that as his privilege. One of those, I'm young, white, in the Army, I can't be touched. So it was one of those, hey, jump in my seat, and we took off. He ends up dropping me back off at the house.
I got it covered for who I am. I'm military man.
It's one of those, I got this, don't worry about it, I can get out of this. He kind of mentioned that while he was...
you know how to talk to law enforcement.
It was spun nicely. But yeah, he drops me off at the house and goes to ditch the Jeep. Cops show up because when he drops me off, he backs his car out the driveway, leaves it running in the middle of the street. Cops show up. The lady's like, yeah, that was him. They arrest me for obstruction of justice. They arrest him for leaving the scene of an accident. Never once did he tell the cops that he switched seats. He said he would willingly take the weight for it. I didn't ask him to do it. He went to court, pled guilty.
So tell me about the, and he went and pled guilty. And the cost of the car, $1,500. That was, he said, he purchased for you, and you were to repay him.
For sure. He had a job where he flipped Hondas online. In a given month, he'd flip 10 or 15 cars, buy them for a few $100, sell them for a few $1,000. I didn't have a car at the time. I had the multicolored Civic that he's talking about. And his comment was, hey, just take this one. He gave me the car. The title was actually put in.
And that was when approximately?
That was
2011?
No, it was prior.
That was mid-2010.
So when did he begin asking for money for payment? This
For the car?
is 6 years later.
Never,
Yeah.
not once did he ask me. When he kicked me out of the house,
When was that?
he packed the car. Late 2010, early
Sir,
2011.
why are you just now asking for money for this car?
He still owed me money for the vehicle, and I don't remember helping him pack the vehicle. There were 2 instances in which he would make up small arguments to avoid paying rent, and he would flee. The vehicle I actually bought so he would be safer. And yes, I did buy and sell Hondas, but that was a vehicle that I purchased with him. We had looked at 10 of them with him that week.
You said something about to be safer.
Yeah, the Civic was falling apart. He needed a newer car. We agreed on payment terms. He couldn't afford the vehicle at one. He didn't have
When was he to repay you? What was the agreed upon time?
Within 6 months.
Okay. So when that 7th month came, what did you do?
Basically, the car had already been sold by that point. The reason I had no problem buying the car and taking payments on it is because he was working for the company that he had worked for the majority of the time that we had been together.
It's been 6.5 years. Why are you just now coming in here?
Because he never had an avenue of being able to collect. I would never be able to go after. Anybody can sue anyone for anything, but I would never have been able to get anything out of him. He never would have paid anything.
That's why you get judgments.
And then he was.
And then you get a judgment, and then you can collect on that judgment when they do get something. He obviously has something now.
Well, for the last 5 years, he's been in prison, so it's kind of hard to sue somebody for.
You can get a judgment. You can get a judgment. Like folks think when they're in prison, they don't have to pay child support. It's not true. When they come home, they owe that child support. Can't go to jail and avoid child support.
Defendant Stephen Balfe dated the plaintiff, and he claims after they broke up, he hit rock bottom, robbed 3 banks, and went to prison.
Why do you think he's waiting this long to sue you for these other 2 things?
The entire time that I was incarcerated, I had no communication with him whatsoever. The day I got arrested, I severed ties. One of those, my past is done, it's over with. So I don't communicate with him at all. He sends me letters every month. Never misses a birthday, never misses a Christmas, everything. Get all this mail. One of these postcards actually outed me as a homosexual in prison and got passed around the yard. It was drunk. You could tell by the scribbling on it. He sent me a letter while I was still in the halfway house, let's say 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. And he asked if I would take the opportunity to meet him for coffee and get closure. I went, I met him for coffee. I explained to him that I've been sober, that I wanted to just sever ties, and I wanted closure to be closure, and I wanted to move on with my new life. 2 weeks later, I get a text that says, "I'm going to sue you, the sympathy is over."
Okay. Did it happen like that, sir?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Your claim is this.
Hold
Your
on.
claim is
I didn't
dismissed. You're
say,
beyond the
like-
statute of limitations. Have a good day.
He has a lot of searching to do. He is a scary person.
I'm good. I just wanted closure. I wanted it to be done, and hopefully it's done. So here's to the future.